God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Peng,
Here.
Vice President Romano,
Here.
Mr. Shi, Ms. White,
Here.
Mr. Mohan Patel,
Present.
Mr. Bral Patel,
Here.
Mr. Schneider,
Here.
Mr. Rivera,
Here.
Mr. Vishal Patel.
Present.
Thank you. Opening statement.
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law, 1975, C-231, Sunshine Law, copies of this public meeting notice were sent to the Home News Tribune and the Star-Ledger on January 3rd, 2023, and November 13th, 2023. Members of the public may participate at regular meetings in accordance with the bylaws of the board and applicable state regulations.
Okay, thanks. You or me?
Adjourn to privileged session. We were now to adjourn to privileged session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the Edison Township Board of Education will adjourn to confidential session for the purpose of discussing confidential student matters, personnel matters, health insurance, contract dispute, former staff, and student litigations.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn to privileged session.
Motion. Second.
Thank you. We should be back before 7 o'clock. Thank you.
Roll call?
All.
Roll call.
Or voice vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn to where? To open session.
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
fine. All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to resume. We have student council representations. Edison High, Pardamani Heaney. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Board of Education members. My name is Charlie from Albany, the student council and student representative from Edison High School. Edison High School has recently ended its fall sports and will be starting their winter sport, which will start towards the end of November. Student Council held their annual Volleyball for Charity event with over 30 teams, and money collected went to the Hugs for Brady Foundation. Towards the end of October, our theater department did a Clue production, which went successfully. FCCLA had its fall leadership competition on Monday, and we will be sending over 35 students to states and had over 10 students get top 2 in the gold section, which is an excellent achievement for the Edison High students. Students and class councils are working on our yearly Halloween decorating, which will take place on Monday, November 27th this year. It will be a day for students to engage in school spirit and festivities. After asking students about student issues, I was notified that numerous students noticed that the food, especially the meat and pizza they received at school during lunch, was uncooked and often still cold from being defrosted. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have JP, Mr. Aaron Bensay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Bensal, and I'm co-president of the Student Council here at JP Stevens. Since the last Board of Education meeting here, our student body has partaken in many events through their co-curricular activities. Recently, our HOSA chapter organized a cancer walk, successfully raising over $1,000 for the cause. Additionally, the Model United Nations chapter has completed 2 major conferences so far, in both New York and Princeton. We've also been making significant strides in promoting inclusivity within our school by improving our beloved event, Mr. JPS, through work with the DAI, who have also attended a conference at Keene University to bring in newer perspectives to this problem. Our students have also enjoyed the homecoming dance hosted at the end of October and the fall play of the Crucible this past weekend. JP has also been making significant progress with spreading awareness about the events at our school with the installation of new televisions in our cafeteria. In addition to these events, the fall sports season has also come to a conclusion this month. This week, the winter season has finally kicked off, featuring bowling, basketball, hockey, winter track, and swimming. Our music department, featuring our band, choir, orchestra, and guitar, will also be playing in our winter holiday concerts. In the coming weeks, we will be organizing the winter pep rally, as well as hosting our annual talent show, JPS Got Talent. While this concludes the main events that have occurred and will occur in the near future here at JP, I understand that the board wanted us to bring an issue to their attention as mentioned in the September meeting. However, as our administration is very responsive to the issues that we have presented to them in the past admin meetings, there are currently no outstanding issues to present. Our students have also been making significant progress with spreading awareness about the events at our school with the installation of new televisions in our cafeteria. In addition to these events, the fall sports season has also come to a conclusion this month. This week, the winter season has finally kicked off, featuring bowling, basketball, hockey, winter track, and swimming. Our music department, featuring our band, choir, orchestra, and guitar, will also be playing in our winter holiday concerts. In the coming weeks, we will be organizing the winter pep rally, as well as hosting our annual talent show, JPS Got Talent. While this concludes the main events that have occurred and will occur in the near future here at JP, I understand that the board wanted us to bring an issue to their attention as mentioned in the September meeting. However, as our administration is very responsive to the issues that we have presented to them in the past admin meetings, there are currently no outstanding issues to present. With that being said, I hope the board has gained a good perception of JP's current situation, and I thank you guys for your time tonight.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. So I know you guys have a busy schedule, so you are, dismissed. You feel free to leave anytime. We're just continue our meeting. Next, we have administration report. Dr. Adarali.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Board President. I would just like to start off by wishing everybody a happy and healthy Thanksgiving break. We've got the next couple of days off. Please take this time to rest and relax with your family and friends, join together, and celebrate the season of giving thanks. So for administrator's report, pretty straightforward. We begin with the second reading of our Board of Education policies that transpired over the course of the last board meeting. Many of these policies are just revisions to existing policies, a few mandated policies in relationship to our threat assessment programs, which has really been spearheaded by Dr. Tui and Pat Kassan, as well as other members of our central office staff. They're actually kind of the leaders in this space. We believe the state has also modeled some of their performance protocols around some of the work that Pat and Dr. Tui has done, so congratulations to them on that work. It's actually really, really impressive. And just school nutrition policy at the end, I know there was some discussion at the last Board of Education meeting. The one policy, 8500, is actually assuming policies 8540 and 8550. We're abolishing both of those. We're taking all of the good points from those policies and incorporating them into 8500. Some of the pieces that were, obviously antiquated practices were a process called meal shaming, denying a kid or denying a student the opportunity to have a lunch in the event that they have a balance, and didn't have money on them at that time. So those are all policies that were not only mandated, but obviously best practice as well too. Second part of the superintendent's report, they are the approval and the resolution of myself being a representative for the Ed Services Commission, serving on their board. We are also approving the DPR, the District Performance Review, for our CUSAC, Accountability and Continuum Monitoring this year. We are one of the districts that will be taking part in that process. It's actually one of our board goals, and my goal as well is to successfully navigate that process with a passing goal, with a passing score. We have settlement agreements as well too at the conclusion of this, and a revision to the school calendar to reflect elementary school conferences. Moving forward, we have our curriculum instruction, field trips and professional development resolutions, but I would be remiss if I didn't highlight a couple pieces that were actually pertinent to curriculum instruction. The first and foremost, the district celebrated its first parent academy at the beginning of this month. It was an inaugural academy. I think it was pretty successful, although we'd like to see participation rate increase at that time. The more parents, the better. The more opportunities we have to foster partnerships between not only this board, but the members of our staff and the community as well too, be partners in education. We're looking forward to the upcoming one, and we're going to definitely elicit feedback from the people that attended to improve our programs and to make sure that we're offering information that's relevant to moms and dads. The other piece too, I attended on Saturday a math competition over at Woodrow Wilson. It was absolutely fantastic over at Miss Blevins School, and it was chaired by Miss Debbie Jasper. What a great event, what a great opportunity. There were a lot of problems in there that I'm pretty confident that I couldn't solve at that time. I definitely would need some high-level calculators for those, so I was extremely impressed with the level of rigor there. But I think what was more impressive were the students that came back to Proctor, former Woodrow Wilson and JAM students that came back, that are our high school students that came back and proctored the event. So that just shows what a great partnership that program and that school has with other members of the community. So that's great. Congratulations to everybody that participated in there. And then on Monday, I attended the FCCLA conference. Almost 700 students total in attendance from various districts. Edison had approximately like 170 students. Congratulations to all of those students that participated in it. It was a great event. There was an unbelievable cupcake display that was there too, which was really fantastic, that both Edison High School and J.P. Stevens students participated in. And congratulations to Ms. Halpin, as well as the building principals that participated in that endeavor too. It was really, really nice. And to kind of conclude, before I turn it over to Dr. Tui, we have our pupil special services report. As always, those are our out-of-district placement students, as well as the approval of professional contracted services in the event that we need them. So that concludes the superintendent's report. We'll turn it over to finance there.
Oh, sure.
Mr. Toth?
Oh, I thought you said Dr. Tui.
No.
That's what he said.
Did I say that?
You did.
Well, you're not Dr. Tui.
No, we're
Mr.
definitely,
Toth?
I am not a doctor, so you should definitely call for help.
Yeah.
Item 1 is our financial reports, pretty standard stuff. Contracts, not that many this month, but I'd like to call the attention. Mr. Cohen secured a contract with Varsity Tutors for, I believe, $335,000. This is going to be for virtual and live tutoring for our Edison High School students and online virtual for the rest of the district. So it's a unique investment in our, a big investment in our students. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Cohen. Bids, there's a few on here. I got to call your attention to the big one for the renovation of this auditorium. It's $5.7 million, and as everyone can see, I'm thinking this is definitely in need of some renovation, but it's going to be mirrored much in the way of Edison High School, new stage, new chairs, new flooring. I'm sure Mr. Barker has some very good ideas for video boards and technology, but it's going to look beautiful. And then we have another bid award for some renovations to Woodrow Wilson, a couple classrooms, and also there at JAMS as well, for about $2.5 million. Followed by, we have a couple change orders for some of the projects around the district, one zero cost, 2 others that are charged to allowance. We have our annual capital maintenance plan. It's a report that's required by every school district with regards to capital maintenance and budget planning, so that's being submitted to the state. We have some grant awards. We have a lot of the standard ones, things with IDA and ESSA, but the one I'd like to call your attention to is the high impact tutoring grant that Mr. Cohen, Ms. Beninder Goomer, and Ms. Maria Lopez have secured to the tune of $460,000. So that's a large sum of money we can use for obviously additional tutoring, self-assessments, and things of that nature. So that's really big for our kids. We have our non-public report, and then our monthly award of transportation contracts for student transportation services. That's it.
Thank you, thank you. Sorry. Now we have public comments for resolution only. Anyone? Including personnel. Yes, including personnel.
Beth Chalke, 15 Midwood. I see on page 7 of 9 for the personnel, number 9, J.P. Stevens Algebra 1 math program, running on Saturdays. Is that like a tutoring program for $50 an hour teachers are getting paid?
Yes, correct.
And that's just at JP? Okay. Just curious, after just what I heard, Edison High is getting this varsity tutor program, but JP's getting this. What students is this supposed to be targeting for Algebra 1?
So for Algebra 1, those students? For mathematics, it's students that fall within a particular category, right? So based off of teacher assessment, I believe as well too, Mr. Cohen. They fell within a particular category off of their NJSLA scores, as well as teacher recommendation to be provided for additional tutoring and support.
Okay, and just since it was just brought up by Mr. Toth about this varsity tutoring and this grant money and so forth that was just secured.
So this is what we're doing at Edison High School is a pilot program, right? So we're piloting it over at Edison High School currently right now, utilizing Title I funds. And then if the program meets with success and we can put measurable benchmarks in it, we're going to make sure that we spread this out to not only our other high school, but into our middle schools as well.
Now, is that varsity program Just for math, or is it for all subjects?
It's
that
all
gonna
subjects.
touch?
All subjects.
Okay, so I see over here at JP, we're tutoring for Algebra 1.
Yep.
But what about all our other subjects? Because I'm sure children are falling between the cracks in literacy and writing and so forth, but I just see it here for math.
I think Mr.
And
Cohen.
algebra.
Yeah, I think Mr. Cohen could probably touch base with you offline, Ms. Talkie, and give a little bit of information with regards to that. But yes, we don't only offer it just for that. I do want to say that it was on a previous agenda for language arts as well, too. I do remember J.P. Stevens was on at the very beginning of the year to approve this, but I'd have to go back and look. I don't want to misspeak.
Okay, and do we know about like how many students both of these programs are to reach out to and help and the criteria?
For the varsity tutor program, 970, I believe. It was close to 1,000 students.
And that will be during school, after school?
It-
Okay,
At any time.
okay.
Right, and the additional component to varsity tutors also is the opportunity for all students in the district that will be provided with an instant tutor, an instant opportunity to chat with a tutor. So once we roll out the processes and the protocols in order to do that, that opportunity will be afforded to every single student. But
And then we know like the credentials and so forth of all these tutors and so forth that are going to be meeting with our students, because we have some pretty incredible teachers in our district.
Absolutely.
You know,
I don't
that-
discount
that-
that. No, we have, I would say we have the best teachers on the planet here in Edison Township. But there's only so many hours in a day though, right? And this is online tutoring that they can, if they're doing their homework at 10 o'clock at night and they need help with a mathematics problem or some revisions to initial paragraph.
Okay,
or
so they can reach
persuasive
out at
essay,
any
They
time?
can reach out at any single time.
Okay.
Also
Absolutely.
They'll also help with college applications. So when students are applying to college, I think that was a big thing that hit on me when I met them.
Yep.
Because I remember what it was like, a long, long time ago when I applied for college. But now you can have someone, help you go through the application process and do all that stuff. I thought that was really beneficial to all of our
Yeah.
kids.
And part of the piece through Edison High, too, they have diagnostic platforms as well, too, where students can take assessments to identify areas of strength and areas for growth, and it'll take
It's
them down.
great that we have it there, but I'd love to see it on both sides to help all of our students.
Without a
because I'm
doubt,
sure
but we don't
there's
want to,
gaps.
you know though, too, Beth, we don't want to implement a program. One of the first things that you want to do, you want to make sure that it measures with success. We want to implement, we want to monitor it, and verify that this is something that we want to move forward with on a large scale, much like we do with all of our curriculum programs, right? If we're looking at a new series or a textbook or anything along those lines, we don't just mass implement those pieces. We'll pilot it in a few classrooms, maybe at a particular school. We'll elicit feedback from those teachers, as well as in this case, teachers and students, to see if it's something worthwhile with moving forward with. But we wouldn't implement something large scale if we weren't fully vetted with this. But this program, we did some research on. It's definitely met with success. We're confident that it's going to improve test scores across the board.
And lastly, there's this algebra that's listed in here. Is it for all levels of algebra or just one in particular?
I'd have to go back and look at that, the
Like, is
criteria
it
with it.
Algebra 1, also Algebra 2 students?
I don't have
honors
it.
algebra?
Yeah, I don't have the criteria in front of me, but I have the justification somewhere in this large stack of piles, and I could show you afterwards.
Okay, because I'd like to see it,
Sure.
for all, and not just some to keep kind of pushing them up, but for all students who might be struggling. Thank you.
Fair. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Any other, Ms. Conway, for resolution only? I see some students here. If you guys have questions or comments about resolution, you can come to the podium. Otherwise, just wait a little bit.
A few more minutes.
Quick question. Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I see under personnel that you've hired another grant writer. And my question to you is, what is the ratio of how much we're paying grant writers to the amount of money that we're taking in getting grants? At one time, I was at another meeting one time, and it was very beneficial that the grant writers were actually bringing in an enormous amount of money because this was their initial goal, and that was their only job. So we had one grant writer, and now we're going to have two, or is there more? And putting the salaries together versus how much they've actually taken in grant money is what I would look forward to hearing, and I know you just don't have it at the tip of your tongue, but it'd be something interested to share with the community. Thank you.
Anyone else on resolution only?
Board President,
Sing-
I have a question. So, John,
Harish, resolution only. Okay. If it's
If it's on the,
Yeah.
if it's on the agenda.
on the
in the
resolution,
resolution,
yes.
So, Harish Tatineni, 45 McKinley Street. Good to see a lot of policy revisions, but I'm disappointed not to see any revision of the nepotism policy for board members and administration officials, senior administration officials. I thought we discussed this in detail in last meeting. I spoke for almost 3 minutes, also spoke to the Director of Communications and Policies, and she also said she would look into this, but not sure what happened. We keep coming here, make our points, more than 50% of them are not addressed, and then the same thing continues. Well, I just wanted to let everyone know that elections or no elections, my comments will be the same. So, after nepotism, I see something related to food services. So, how difficult is it to include a policy of random checks by respective school principals about the food quality? Or is that something operational and doesn't even need a policy revision? Again, I don't want to take any names of students or teachers or principals or schools, but there were some incidents in recent past. So I thought that would help us because earlier it was C-, now it came to C+. If we introduce this policy, maybe the food ratings will go higher, which would in turn help the overall ratings of different schools. So that was a suggestion, and likewise, the help desk enhancement, again, would that need a policy change or is it just an operational issue? The mandatory customer feedback ratings before or after closing and sharing in the next BOE meeting every month. So those are the 3 things I had about policies. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Dr. Adderley, yes.
Yeah, I don't think either of those are policy related. The quality of the food, maybe I'll address first. That's definitely an internal mechanism. Actually, we just spoke about that recently, in which Mascios does. They would, so our food service provider, I don't know if they do surveys, to be honest with you. We actually have to go back and look at that, but they definitely bring in focus groups of students to determine what type of meals they like, the quality of food. They'll ask them questions about that. They'll do that across all of the schools in certain pockets, but I can identify the frequency and the timing of which they do it. The survey question actually came up recently, so I'd have to look at that. So from an internal mechanism, I can say that that does happen operationally, that they do look at the quality of food, the food offerings, and they elicit that feedback and try to implement that. There is a framework in which food services has to work in order to make sure that they're providing meals in accordance with statute as well too. So as long as those parameters are hit, it should be good. But I could, if we can talk afterwards, I can get you the timeframes as to when they do that.
So Dr. O'Reilly, I have a question.
Sure.
Can we expand the survey in a way that rather than Marcia doing a survey, like administration does a survey, so that we get on this, unbiased, unfiltered results?
Yeah.
And rather than focus group, we do it across the school?
Let me find out exactly what Mascios does, and then we could have a deeper discussion. That's
Thank you.
perfect, yeah. I know.
Thank you, Doc.
Great, perfect.
Thank you. Any
Board
other?
And then I think it
I
was
have a question.
the health desk,
Oh, yeah, the help desk.
Yes, no policy in relationship to that either, that would be more operational. We definitely took this suggestion under advisement too. I'll dialogue with Mr. Barker as well as our communications committee about the rating piece that we could put in potentially, whether they're satisfied with the level of service at that time, right? It's you know, things like that are only as good as the user, as the end user, right? Sometimes people, even though the ticket's been closed, they're still not satisfied, right? Especially if it's not the answer that they want to hear. But I understand what you're saying, whether it was completed to their satisfaction, it's good feedback for the district. I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, resolution? Seeing none,
Board President, I have. So John, you mentioned about this auditorium. That is wonderful news. Looking at this auditorium, it needs an upgrade. Even better than EHS, you know, make sure of that. So that's great that we are rolling it through. What is the timeline on that?
You want me to ask you or John?
Mr. Toth,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear again?
the timeline on this auditorium.
Oh, the timeline. Ideally, we're going to have this awarded tonight. Then construction will begin, you know, as soon as possible. We'll have a kickoff meeting probably early in December, but it is going to take majority of the school year. So I don't foresee that being, it's going to be available to us. But we'll have to troubleshoot and triage around that because it's going to take the better part of this school year to get it all complete.
Okay, so can we put that on the website? Because Dr. Elderly, I'm aware, as we work with Patty on different, you know, rentals, a lot of people are looking for this auditorium. So it's for greater good, for future purpose that this is going to be out of service for a few months. So that will help people be aware of this. And Woodrow, are we doing auditorium in Woodrow or just, the Woodrow auditorium is still going to be available, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the classroom renovation.
Oh,
So
the classroom, okay.
there'll be renovations to 2 classrooms there, as well as 2 classrooms at JAMS. Again, same thing, barring the award tonight, we're having a kickoff meeting probably either next week or the week after. This way, at that point in time, we'll go over a project schedule, but that's going to be probably as well better part of this year. But, you know,
Okay.
nothing, you know, longer than that, we hope. Yes, the renovate, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President?
yeah, Mr. Shi.
So the timeline for this auditorium is around 6 to 9 months. So the goal is to open the brand-new auditorium for the new school year. And for the Woodrow Wilson and John Adams, Woodrow Wilson, we're converting the locker room into 3 special needs classrooms, and that should be about 6 months. And for the John Adams, we're converting the locker room into the band room, and we're taking the
Orchestra, yeah.
kids away from the trailers. We'll reshuffle the band, the orchestra, and the choir. That's also similar time frame, maybe a little bit shorter. So all these 3, they should be available before next school year.
Thank you, Mr. Shi. So, motion to end the public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I have a motion to approve personnel report.
Motion. Second.
There was a motion by Mo.
Mo and Michelle.
Seconded it, though.
Got it. Mr. Vishal Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider.
Yes.
Mr. Biro Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Mohan Patel.
Yes.
Ms. White.
Yes.
Mr. Shi.
Yes.
Vice President Romano.
Yes.
President Penn.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve administration and curriculum and instruction pupil special service reports.
Motion.
Second.
Who had the second? I couldn't hear.
Jerry.
Thank you. Mr. Vishal Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider.
Yes.
Mr. Biro Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Mohan Patel.
Yes.
Ms. White.
Yes.
Mr. Shi.
Yes.
Mr. Romano.
Yes.
President Pang.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve finance reports.
Motion.
Oh, that was a tie. I'm going to give it to Mo. Mr. Vishal Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera. Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Birol Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Mohan Patel?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Vice President Romano?
Yes, with a caveat that I don't believe there was a second.
I thought I had a second, but,
Yeah, there was
They were
both,
same time?
Bureau and we said it at the same time.
Almost
yeah,
the same
it was
time.
a close tie, but it was a photo finish.
Okay. Yes.
No caveat.
President Peng?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next, we have committee reports. Athletic Committee, Mr. Vishal Patel.
Thank you. So Athletic Committee met on November 14 at 4 p.m. in Ed Center. The committee reviewed the summary of Middle School Girls Volleyball League, which concluded in October 2023. The season met with a great success, culminating in a tournament this fall. The middle school boys program will begin in the spring and will have a tournament with total of 14 teams. We had a tremendous interest throughout the town with these volleyball tournaments. The development of our middle school and high school cricket program continues to make progress. Our middle school will compete in an intramural program upon the conclusion of the spring sports. Surveys have been taken to ascertain interest in the program, and equipment and fields will be ready for use before the season starts. Our high school club cricket will join Monroe and West Windsor Public Schools in a 5-team league that will compete in spring, followed by a tournament or a playoff after the season. Our athletic directors are working hard to make sure that this program meets with a great success. Our multi-purpose batting cages and tennis court projects at the both high schools are progressing. As we continue to expand and improve our facilities, our athletic directors are seeking innovative ways to ensure that our spring sports have adequate space to practice and play. As the district looks to streamline some of its processes, members of the staff met to identify a software that may help in electronic submission of sports physicals. Additionally, we are also going to offer an opportunity for sports physicals for spring season at several locations around the district. More information will be provided as we get closer to the spring season. Thank you.
Thank you. We also have Curriculum Committee report, Mr. Vishal Patel.
Thank you. So Curriculum Committee met on November 14 as well at 5 p.m. Attendees were Vishal Patel, Biral Patel, Dr. O'Reilly, Ms. Baninder, Mr. Richard Cohen, Mr. Jonathan Toth, and Ms. Heather Daniel. Curriculum for health education for elementary has been updated on the website, and the link has been provided in the meeting minutes. It's a curriculum that is used by the teachers to teach different health topic in K to 5. The district plans to offer 24/7 enrichment program with live chat support to all students from K to 12. So I'm going to pause and re-emphasize, right? 24/7 enrichment program with the live chat support for all the students from K to 12 across the Addison School District. The district reviewed Varsity Tutors, which provides personalized learning to offer enrichment program. Varsity Tutors will provide one-on-one virtual learning called high-dosage tutoring to Addison High School math students who are Title I eligible utilizing EHS Title I funds. Along with Title I funded services to 986 EHS students, Varsity Tutors agreed to offer free on-demand learning to all the district students from K to 12. The program includes self-paced learnings, diagnostics, 24/7 chat tutoring, essay reviews, college and career readiness courses such as SAT, ACT. Initial free program will be offered for 2 years with a commitment from the Varsity Tutor CFO to extend the free programming as long as the partnership continues. The committee expressed support for the presented varsity tutoring program and supported the district to start offering on-demand varsity tutor service to all students as early as January 2024. There was a discussion about win period, right? How do we make efficient use of win period? The district will pilot the varsity tutors on-demand self-learning programming and 24/7 chat tutoring during the win period once it is launched in January 2024. Mr. Cohen will explore the feasibility of potentially offering the following courses to the freshmen in the school year that starts in 24-25. The courses that he's looking into are AP Biology, AP Computer Science Principles, AP Art History, AP Human Geography, Honors Music. So this is about offering AP classes options to the freshmen. And Mr. Cohen is looking into options, possibilities of doing that in next school year. Follow-up of that AP is that Mr. Cohen reported that district will explore the possibility of offering these courses without prerequisites and limiting all freshmen to maximum of 1 AP courses. So we want to avoid a scenario where some courses, some students get an opportunity to sign up for AP and some don't. So we are going to give an option to more AP classes so we can accommodate as many students as we can. But there will be a restriction that one student can only choose 1 AP course, at least in the freshman year. Elementary school standard-based reports. The presentation was shared regarding the report card revision process. Currently the standard-based reports is implemented in grades K3 and K4, and some K to K3, and some grade 4 classrooms. Committee will be apprised of the program of implementation at grade 4, where it is currently being piloted. Communication with the parent is forthcoming to help clarify purpose and benefits and understanding. The district will be deciding on the grade 5 standard-based report cards after investigating and exploring all options. The committee asked for the consideration of reaching out to a professor from the Rampo College of New Jersey who expressed an interest in conducting an enrichment program on business analytics. This program would cover topics like AI and blockchain. The committee suggested that the Edison School District contact this professor to arrange the business analytics enrichment program for our high school students. Mr. Cohen connected with the professor on Tuesday, November 16, and will update the committee at the December meeting on the plan to offer 2 enrichment mini courses for free to all the interested high school students. The committee, one of the new initiatives, the committee asked, considering offering yoga and pranayama, which is a breathing technique, to our Edison School students. Mr. Cohen reported that yoga will be piloted in the 8th grade health classes with the teachers who expressed interest in hopes of launching the pilot in the third marking period this year through the relationship with the Isha Foundation at no cost to the district. So Isha Foundation is a leading organization, leading nonprofit organization, and they are willing to work with the district. They are going to train our teachers on how to teach yoga and pranayama to our districts, to our students. And Mr. Cohen is looking into possibility of piloting the program with the grade 8 students in marking period 3. The committee also asked for consideration to offer geometry credit course to the incoming 10th graders who took Algebra 1 in the 9th grade. So Mr. Cohen is agreeing, Mr. Cohen agreed to look further into this offering. Committee also asked for consideration to offer a geometry credit course in the summer to incoming 9th grade students who completed Algebra 1 in the 8th grade. Mr. Cohen informed the committee that the geometry credit courses for incoming 10th grade once it's successfully implemented, he would consider exploring other pathways for acceleration of the incoming 9th grade students who completed Algebra 1 in the 8th grade. Mr. Cohen also informed the committee that the 9th graders taking geometry have the opportunity to accelerate another year in the math by taking the summer pre-cal courses that district offers. This is end of the report, but I do want to give kudos to Mr. Cohen. I mean, he made a lot of progress in short 2 months he's around, and the varsity tutor offering, the credit goes to him. I mean, he came up with an idea and figured out a way to offer all of our students free support 24/7 using varsity tutors. So thank you, Mr. Cohen.
Thank you. Next, we have
Madam
finance.
President,
Yeah, Mr. Shi.
I just want to emphasize the varsity tutors that have been mentioned here. We need to do a very good advertising on this, Heather. Just make sure that our students take full advantage of that. 724 online, one-on-ones. We got a lot of this for free, so make sure that we do a good advertising and let the students take full advantage of that.
Yep, and my request is even before we launch the program in January, we should start marketing it, sometime this month or early next month. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be a great help based
Yep.
on the discussion we had with them.
Yeah, it's a great program. I actually used it before. Any parents, any students in the middle of the night, if you're having problem solving, to finish homework, need some help on the essay, you can just get online, start a chat, and you're going to get the help that you need. So, very convenient service. Thank you.
Yeah, the other thing that the tutor on the other side has been vetted through their process, very strict process of the tutors on the other side of the line.
They're all certified teachers with,
everything.
with experience. So, next we have Finance Committee report. Mr. Shi.
Okay, Finance Facility Committee met on November 16th at 4 p.m. at the S Center. In attendance were Mohim Patel, Vishal Patel, Mr. Romano, myself, Dr. Arareddy, and Mr. Toth, Jackie, and Bill Colibus, and Scott Murphy. We reviewed the fiscal year 24 projects for DMR. Last month, we awarded JP Stevens. The Pinnacle Construction held a project meeting with Bismarck Construction and the district personnel to review all the details of the project per the bid specifications. Construction is expected to start in 3 weeks. Pinnacle is the project management company, and Bismarck is the construction company. Herbert Hoover addition, the steel erection process has begun site, and the rough electrical work is ongoing. DMR recommended $54K change order for renovating the main back hallway ceiling, grid, and lighting, and that was approved in the finance resolution. For TJ, the steel for roofing and foundation are being prepared for installation. We talked about JP Stevens Auditorium. Bid was awarded to Billy Construction for $5.7 million. This is a below project, below the budget. And so just take one or two final look at this building. Within probably a couple months, it's going to be closed. And by the time it's open up, it'll be a brand-new state-of-the-art auditorium. JMP Kitchen has been overdue for many years. Permits were issued for the project on November 13th, and the work has started already for the kitchen. The Woodrow Wilson and John Adams locker room, this is a little change on here after the meeting. The bid was awarded to two separate companies. One will do the Woodrow, the other will do Adams. And the result of that, we're saving several $1,000s for splitting this project. For USA Architects, they are doing the John Adams gym. Remaining flooring is being poured, and the rough plumbing and electrical has begun. The Woodrow Wilson gym, above ground CMU, and electrical work is ongoing. For the JMI addition, the cost estimate is about $17 million. Meeting with USA to discuss updates to the budget and bidding alternate strategy. The design has been finalized. We just need to go out and just do it. The committee asked administration to move this project forward, discuss with financial advisor and bond counsel to take advantage of low construction costs in the winter. The ESIP, it's a budget neutral energy saving program. Solar panel installation work is ongoing at Woodbrook, MLK, and TJ. If you walk around, you will see we already started the installation work. Roofing has been completed at the JP. The only remaining roof work to be done is JMI, JMP, and the board office. After the project is done, 17 of the 19 schools in the district will have solar panels on the roof. Budget neutral, important. Interior lighting work has started at TJ. For the 25 projected projects, Marshall, that was presented to the board before, the cost estimate is $32 million. DMR to provide additional proposal for the balance of project. Edison High School, SSP, has done their estimate. It's about $21 million. And to track these projects, we also have a maintenance building project, the J.P. Stevens Cafeteria and Labs, and the John Adams addition. We also heard that we received some ROG grants. ROG grants, the HVAC, basically it's air conditioning, upgraded for multi-purpose rooms in all elementary schools. All elementary school multi-purpose room will be upgraded. And we also filed the comprehensive maintenance plan, which was mentioned in the finance resolution. Just want to say thank you to our facility department for the 2 walkways they put it in at the back of John Adams and JP. JP Stevens construction will start very soon. That will create some inconveniences. And the walkway has been put in the back of the baseball field. Parents can drop the kids off at the Laura Avenue, or they can drop them off at Lamar and Norton. There's a walkway. You can just walk over to the back of JP instead of dealing with the traffic in the front. The finance is, we have multiple contracts here. John Adams sewer pipe construction for service, is, there are some issues with that. It's going to cost us $98K. Kimball International Exemplis and Carteridge, there's 3 different companies. They're going to provide us with furniture for our schools. That's $94K, which is also approved. ESCNJ, contract for Title I, and Idea Services is $410K. And Varsity Tutor, which is mentioned multiple times, District Live, and virtual tutoring and assessment for Edison students is $334K. These are all approved in the today's financial resolution. And the committee also talked about the alternate school, and that process is ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shi. So before I start the board member comments, I'd like to, if my colleague don't mind, I'd like to invite the students. They have been waiting here patiently, so I don't want to keep them waiting. So you guys can come to the podium.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alina Shah, and I'm a senior at JP, and it's my 4th year in the greenhouse at JP Stevens. Me and my fellow club members wanted to share some thoughts that we had about our part in the club. So our advisors, Ms. Holbrow and Ms. Nee, have worked very closely with each of us, and we have bettered our understanding of the world around us, and they've added to our skills of agriculture and our handiwork. Being a part of this club has taught me how to be more environmentally sound and make choices that allow us to live in a way where we do no harm. Personally, she taught me how to create desirable environments, maintaining the pH and salinity levels and the nutrients concentrations in the hydroponics table. And the skills that I gained with her allowed me to apply for a research opportunity for neurobiology at the university, NJIT. So Greenhouse has given me the opportunity to gain skills that allow me to operate at a higher level than I would normally at a high school level. And as a science club, Greenhouse has always emphasized the importance of connecting with others in a way that benefits the health and the people of a community and remaining sustainable. People who are Greenhouse members for as long as we have been graduate to be leaders who value community, health, education, problem solving. The technical skills that I have learned cannot be taught from within a classroom, and it really makes me appreciate the greenhouse and all that it gives to the members and the people that it feeds from its harvest. We want to thank the BOE for allowing us the ability to gain the experience in a greenhouse at JP and provide us with opportunities to give back to our home. The greenhouse is a testament to the generosity of JP as a community and its constant effort to better lives of others.
Hello, I'm Isabella Rios, and I'm also a senior at JP Stevens High School. I've been a member of the Greenhouse Club since the summer following my freshman year here. I joined the club after having Ms. Holborough as my biology teacher and bearing witness to the incredible community her and Mrs. Nee created in the backyard of JP. I want to express my gratitude to the board for providing JP students with the land to be part of such an upstanding program that benefits students and the community we live in. Being part of the greenhouse has allowed me to learn life skills that would not be traditionally taught in the classroom. Being part of this club means learning to be flexible and take on any problem at hand. I've learned about integrated pest management, sustainable irrigation, crop rotation, and much more simply from listening and working within this club. This has helped me significantly in my science courses and giving me real-life application to reference to when I'm learning in the classroom. It's piqued my interest in being a more environmentally aware citizen and has helped me realize that there are small yet powerful ways we can help the environment, even in the backyard of our own town high school. Greenhouse has helped me find a community of fellow plant lovers who also love the club, our advisors, and doing their part just as I do. It is only within this club that I can bond with others over our splendid harvests that help the community, planting new trees, and finding ladybugs on leaves. Without the Board of Education, this club would not be possible, so we thank you for the chance to experience it in its full glory.
Hi, I'm Edith Zhao, and like Isabella, I joined Greenhouse in the summer before sophomore year, so I've been in the game for a long time. And as a senior, I've learned and experienced so many things for the past few years, but nothing has hit harder than being a part of the Greenhouse Club. I remember the first time that I tried planting something. It was the tomatillo bed at Greenhouse, which is just Mexican tomatoes. And to my utter disappointment, nothing grew at all. But people can change. And in this recent harvest, I was in charge of the honey nut squash trellis, and I ended up with a beautiful harvest of 30+ squashes that we donated to the Hands of Hope Food Bank, and also sold for much less than their actual worth. And to me, that's the epitome of the greenhouse. We put in really hard work, and afterwards, we give what we've created up to the community and to nature. And it means so much to work for something that will have a direct, real, genuine effect on someone who could very well be living a block down from me. It blows my mind, like before COVID, over the course of 3 years, we donated $10,000 worth of healthy organic food to the community, and just this year, 200 pounds of it. Our work changes lives, I believe, and it changes people. And I know people can change because I've changed. I've made so many friends at this club. I've reconnected with nature, and I found so much joy from witnessing a miracle of life. And as someone once said, and I really like, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. And so I have to thank you, Edison Board of Education, for supporting the greenhouse and allowing me to really discover what that means. Thank you. I'm eternally grateful for every moment.
Good evening. My name's Invita, and just like Edith, I've been a part of this program since I was a freshman. And as I approach the threshold of the next 4 years at college, I just wanted to reflect on my 4 years at the greenhouse and how much I've grown and evolved through this unique opportunity. The experiences and connections I forged here have been nothing short of transformative, both for myself and the Edison community. Every summer, under the guidance of Ms. Holborough and Ms. Nee, the greenhouse becomes a thriving hub of growth and connection. Their unwavering dedication and consistent effort to put their best foot forward at all times have turned this humble greenhouse into a haven of learning and creativity. There's times where they drive in the rain and we're there, and even though they live far away, they put in the effort to be coming there for us. And oftentimes, these were the times in the summer where I got to hang out with my friends and still take part in learning, but in like an open environment. And Ms. Holbrough, Ms. Nee's passion and expertise in botany has not only helped foster my interest in the science field, but it's also imparted lessons that have gone far past the classroom walls. From planting seeds to harvesting ripe veggies, I've learned patience, diligence, and most importantly, the profound joy that comes from just nurturing life. Moreover, our work at the greenhouse resonates far beyond the walls. The produce and plants we've cultivated have brightened local homes, the food bank, and the hands of people in our community that need the food the most. People have relied on this food from the food banks and programs like this to sustain themselves. And I truly can't overstate the positive impact it has on those who have been a part of this journey. I'm also a varsity athlete and I do participate in other sports. And I just want to say that as a fall varsity athlete, specifically soccer, it's really difficult to find the opportunity to take part in other clubs that I can still value my interests. And science is a big one. It's a big part of my interest, and as someone who wants to enter the science field as I enter college, this was a great opportunity for me to take part in learning. And I just wanted to extend my heartfelt thanks to you, the Board of Education, for supporting and sustaining this wonderful initiative. Your support in the greenhouse has not just enriched our school, but has sown seeds of compassion, understanding, and community spirit that will continue to flourish for years to come. You are the true heroes of this story, and I'm eternally grateful for your kindness and unwavering belief in what we can achieve together. Thank you again for the priceless opportunity. Here's to many more summers of growth, learning, and community connection.
Good evening. My name is Serena, and I'm also a senior at JP Stevens High School. This is my third year volunteering at the JP Stevens Greenhouse, and I'd like to thank the Board of Education for enabling the greenhouse to carry out its amazing work. Maintaining the greenhouse and growing fresh, organic produce requires a lot of hard work and dedication, so I'm extremely grateful for all the support the board has shown for us. Working at the greenhouse has been one of the most special and eye-opening experiences that I've had at JP Stevens. When I first started volunteering at the greenhouse, I knew very little about growing produce. Now, because of the greenhouse, I've developed a true passion for it. At the greenhouse, I had the opportunity to gain important skills and experiences that I never would have had in a typical classroom setting. I learned about the fascinating technologies used to grow produce, such as the hydroponics table and drip irrigation. And this furthered my interest in science. I helped put together garden beds and used power tools for the first time, making me realize how much I enjoy building things. From cucumbers to tomatoes, I tasted some of the best vegetables that I've ever eaten at the greenhouse. I'm so thankful for everything the greenhouse has taught and given me, and I would not be the same without it. Beyond all this, the greenhouse has given me an opportunity to give back to my community. It has made me more aware of how impactful growing fresh food can be. I learned how grateful the food banks are whenever they receive donations from the greenhouse and how beneficial it has been for other students who may not have access to fresh produce. It's a basic necessity, yet many people cannot access it. The greenhouse has shown me how important growing fresh, sustainable produce is, and that this is a critical topic that should be emphasized at school. The JP Stevens Greenhouse has already made such a positive impact on our community, and I'm excited to see it continue to grow and make a difference even after I leave JP Stevens. I'd like to thank the Board of Education for making this amazing opportunity possible. We thank you for your time, and we invite you to come visit the greenhouse during the planting season this spring.
Thank you. Really appreciate you guys coming here and, thank you very much. Now we have...
Madam President?
Yeah, Mr. Shi.
So, thank you guys for coming over here. I think we got emails from two of you in the summer to share your experiences. I actually visited the greenhouse. When we first talked about greenhouse, not only the house, you actually expanded. The lot of those planting beds, and also you mentioned the dripping technology that you use to save water. I have to, kudos to our facility or grounds. I don't know whoever did it. Great job for putting up the fence, the planting beds over there. Nice job, and put the water into it. The technology to save water. It's much better than the township gardens. But so glad to see those vegetables that grow so nicely when I was there. So thank you for sharing your experience with us.
Next, we have board member comments?
Sorry, what was it?
You have your
Board
announcement,
member
Shannon.
comment? Huh?
You have a board president
I'll have
announcement.
meeting announcement. Next, we have caucus meeting December 14th at Ed Center, 7 p.m., and the next public meeting, December 19th at Edison High, 7 p.m. Our reorg meeting will be January 2nd at Ed Center, 7 p.m. Board member comments?
Madam
Anyone?
President?
Yeah, Mr. Shi?
Yes, I just want to mention the initiative from Mr. Robinson here, the Field of Flags, to celebrate the veterans and Veterans Day here at J.P. Stevens. Those are beautiful flags, and thank you for doing that. I know that Mr. Robinson was a veteran, and I'm really glad to see him doing this and let our students to participate in that. I actually have some questions for Dr. Ardarelli. That's my tradition. I gotta follow this thing up, although I have 2 more meetings here. So there's 3 questions from me. Can you provide an update on the resident verification system? And also, we still have a lot of parents who are concerned about the busing. Any updates on subscription and the bus application after we opened it up last month? And also the third question is the bus tracking software. I thought our original plan is to get that installed by the end of this month. And I hope that, after the break, the tracking software can be used after the break. So 3 questions.
So I can start with residency verification, the status of residency verification. So we have a talented group of students who are currently working with both our IT department and our enrollment department on verification software. They are currently testing this platform over multiple databases. It's just they're all public domain databases too, so they're, nothing's being compromised internally with regards to that. Once they deem that the software is accurate, right, and is able to accurately identify residencies and individuals living in that home, they'll do further tests to verify, and then we'll probably implement it on a smaller scale at first, and then move forward with the larger piece. It's amazing what those students have done, and I compliment Mr. Barca and Mr. Benedict for their collaboration in that area too. So it's been really fruitful. The second one was the status of subscription busing.
Yes.
So currently, right now, I think we have under 100 applications that are
Less.
We have less than that.
We, as of today, we have, I believe, 68
that are on a wait list.
on a wait list. That's district-wide, so that's both the north and south end of Edison. So we've been, actively trying to do what we can to either identify a seat that's opened or create, a route that we're able to go out and put out a bid for to secure a subscription bus. So I know that there's 68 kids. We know that you're out there. We're trying to do our best. We're hoping to find a group that are in close enough proximity so we can get out there and secure a route for them.
So the other questions, some people might have missed the application. Is that application still open for people to submit applications or no?
I don't believe we closed.
Yeah, I don't believe it's closed.
I mean,
So
we can.
Okay.
I'll double check that, but that's a great question. I don't believe it was closed.
Yeah.
I think once we reopened it in October, it's remained open.
So parents and students, if you, still want transportation, please submit the application. It is so great to hear that only 68
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
throughout the whole district. It's a great progress from the administration team. Kudos to you guys and our transportation department. We know we still have 68 seats to assign, but great progress. Appreciate it.
Well,
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank Mr. Toth and the transportation team in relationship to that. They did a wonderful job. And again, listen, there's learning curves with this, right? We ran into a couple issues with the street index in the very beginning. That's something we kind of put an initial Band-Aid on that to make it a little bit clearer. But in January, we're having a meeting coming up to determine, number one, how that kind of blanket regulation affected everybody, and to make sure that it's being implemented with fidelity and that we're not excluding anybody also. So, I look forward to that, and as we continue to reflect, we'll get better. We get better. Speaking of getting better, the software, I forget the name of the software.
Tracking
So,
stuff, yeah.
Stop Finder. So
Yeah.
right now, same thing. We kind of had to slow down and pause a little bit due to the fact that we were trying to get kids on buses. The DRTRS, which is an annual transportation report that's due to the state, we had to have that in by the 15th. But all of our data has been migrated into the system. That's a good thing. However, we're going through the verification process. We have a meeting, set up a TransFinder next week, I believe Wednesday, in order to continue our internal training for our staff. It's going to take a couple of weeks, along with verifying that the data that came over into that system is correct, so that when we roll this out, it's done so in an efficient manner and the information is correct. We're also going to, all of our transportation staff are going to be trained, because when parents are trying to utilize the software, if they have a question, they want to be able to call someone in transportation and have them troubleshoot it. So, we're getting our people the training and support they needed for this software. So between that and the data migration, we're probably going to start beta testing this with a small group. That's how we're going to roll it out. Small group in the community, like give them access to the app, maybe even give the parents a little guide and some training, probably at the end of next month.
End of next month, so by
Yeah.
okay, before the holiday. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
And
you, sir.
any idea how long the pilot is going to be before we roll out, to all our buses?
Ideally, if it goes, I think from what the company's telling us, we're going to beta test it twice. If all goes well, if 1 week you bring on a small segment, that goes well, do it again, different area, same segment. 2 times is good for me. Let's go for gold.
Okay, so it looks like the next semester
We're moving.
after the holidays. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else, any other board member comments?
Yeah, I just wanted one more thing. I'd like to congratulate Virginia White on winning the election, and also my 2 teammates, Angela Patel is sitting in the back, and Chris Lugo. Congratulations, and welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Ms. President?
Mr. Michelle Patel?
Well, I just want to wish everyone happy Diwali. I mean, that's why I'm wearing this Indian traditional attire. And I want to thank my 5 young bosses to, coming here and appreciating the board's work. I wasn't part of the, initiative when it was taken, but I'm sure the board appreciates you coming in and giving us kudos. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Ms. White?
Okay. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who voted for me. Thank you for allowing me to serve our students, parents, and neighbors, and our amazing staff one more time. So appreciate it. For me, this is truly an honor, and I appreciate all of your support. To our newly elected board members, I wish you well, and I look forward to working with you in January. I would also like to extend a heartfelt thank you to my running mates, Anthony and Bijal. I appreciate both of you so very much. And finally, I wish you all a blessed Thanksgiving. Please enjoy it with your families. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Board President?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr.
Right, so
Biro Patel?
a huge congratulations to Virginia. Very well done. Anjana sitting right here. And Chris, we don't see Chris here today, but all 3 of you, huge congratulations. And we all look forward to work with all of you next year for the elections. Now, I have said this time and again, one of the Edison team, former Edison student, Srinihal Tamanna, a huge loss for Edison because he moved to Monroe now. He was a Woodrow Wilson student. This year he moved back to Monroe. But he's top 3 finalist in the International Student Peace Organization. So he may get a huge grant and a lot of accolades, and it will be bringing a huge pride to Edison. The reason is even though the student moved out of Edison, it all started in Edison Public Schools. It's Edison who gave him the platform. It started as a science project when he was in elementary school in Woodbrook, and it has become a huge thing across the world. The whole world will be watching, and we wish him all the best so that he gets the first prize. So huge wishes to him in topping out wherever he is. So, and good luck. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Stay safe. And I can't, not speak about the rankings. So I know Heather, we all discussed about this, reaching out to grade schools and everything. But things have gotten better since, because if you see the U.S. News and World Report, even though that is not 100% accurate, that has anomalies, it still ranks Woodbrook as 17th and John Adams as 20-something. So that's huge upside in the rankings. So everyone who is concerned about the rankings should visit the U.S. News and World Report. The latest rankings, and Edison schools are doing much, much better, but we still have a lot of more work to do, and we will keep working on it to improve the rankings of the public school system. We want nothing but best for our students. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other board member comments? Seeing none?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Mr.
great.
Mohan Patel.
Thank you. First and foremost, congratulations, Virginia White, for winning the election, as well as Anjana and Chris Lugo. Welcome. I just want to say a happy Thanksgiving to everybody, but I want to give thanks to a few people right now. I want to thank all the teachers that go above and beyond for providing knowledge, encouragement, and above all, hope to our students. I give thanks to all the students that are taking all the steps necessary towards giving their best, achieving their best, and in making this school district one of the best in the state. I give thanks to the parents that put their children's happiness and mental health above grades and give them the encouragement to dream big and achieve their greatness. I give thanks to all the administrators for going above and beyond on a daily basis to put our students' needs above all. And I also want to give thanks to all the board members that put our students first and above politics. Thank you all. Thank you. That's my Thanksgiving speech. Very nice.
Thank you. Seeing none, public comments?
Good evening. First of all, to the Board of Education, thank you for doing this job. It's not easy what you're
Please
doing. We definitely
state your name,
appreciate
sir.
it. And
Your name, please?
I'm sorry, Jonathan Phillips, resident here in Edison since 1984, Firethorn Drive. Both my daughters came through J.P. Stevens. So I come here tonight. This is my first Board of Education meeting since 1984, so I must be here for a reason, right? Hopefully. And I got to tell you, these kids are amazing. So I think we should all applaud them again for what they did. For their education, they're seniors, but they're the next generation of community leaders that we're going to have, not only here in Edison, but in the state and the world. So that's important. So why am I here tonight? Well, I'm executive director of a Union County nonprofit called Groundwork Elizabeth. And one of our big program goals is urban agriculture. We have 150 community gardens in Union County and Elizabeth that we work with, but only one in Middlesex County, and it's the Edison J.P. Stevens greenhouse. So we've worked with Laura Holborough and the students for a number of years on this incredible, incredible greenhouse that I believe a lot of you have gone to, and if you haven't gone to it yet, get to it. So my question for you is, will you continue to support this greenhouse as a Board of Education? And is there any financial support that you might throw Ms. Holborough and our students, our next generation of community leaders?
You can state all your questions and the way.
That's my only question.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, Joe, go ahead.
In Martin Luther King School, there was a garden. A teacher by the name of, I think her name was Miss Lippy. and the students learned about growing, and they leave Martin Luther King, and then they go to a middle school, and then they go up here to high school. And that greenhouse is really important to us. I mean, that is one of our, I mean, there are 17,000 students, and, you know, they're all pretty good here, you know? But that greenhouse, I would like to expand it. I would like to expand it to other schools. I think, you know, a greenhouse like that would be, you know, really, it would be something that all of our students could learn. And right now, I want to give you my word that we'll do whatever we can to make that greenhouse and other greenhouses. But there again, it's only me. I wish I could snap my fingers and give you whatever you need, but I'll give you this. I'll stand in front of anybody. I'll get any help that you need I can give you, I'll give it to you. And it's going to help our students. You see, it's not just the students at J.P. Stevens. It's the students at our feeder schools.
Yes.
Those feeder schools feed our students in the Edison school system. So I think what you're saying is you want me to help you expand, and sir?
Yes.
All you gotta do is ask me. I'm gonna be there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Beth, Ms. Conway.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I'm going to start with something good first. I went to Edison High School's production of Clue last month. It was fabulous. The students were unbelievable. Ginny and I sat there giggling the whole night. They put that production across. And Mr. Ross was like right behind us, and we could hear him sometimes above the students. It was that amazing. And this is another time that shows there's many courses across the board that are so good about our district. So I just wanted to give them kudos to their production. And guess what the other one is? I looked on the agenda online, and your minutes are not there for your meetings. Now, the reason why I'm asking for it is sometimes when you're talking, it really doesn't give me a chance to take notes, to ask a question maybe about something that went on during your meetings, and I'm just not getting it. So I'm just going to keep trying until 1 month I see the meeting minutes there. Now, if it's not online, but if I show up at 7 o'clock, I would at least appreciate being able to look at it and maybe following along while you're speaking, so this way I can highlight anything that I might have a question. But as of November of 2023, I still haven't won yet. But I'm not going to give up. So thank you very much. So it's a positive and a negative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
happy
you.
Thanksgiving, and be thankful for all we have.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beth?
taller than I am. Beth Talke, 15 Midwood. Happy Thanksgiving to all. I'm grateful for all that you do and for our kids and the taxpayers. I do appreciate it, and you give a lot of time in the season of giving, and it's not gone unnoticed. I have some questions. I'm kind of ping pong all over the place, so Dr. Aldarelli, you might want to take some notes.
You got it.
And Mrs. Pang. Number one, it is November 2023. This past year, to count, there have been approximately 7 caucus meetings canceled. We haven't had. I understand I'll take 2 away because in the summer we always have a combined meeting. That's 5. 11 months so far, we've not had 5 caucus meetings. Now, who is making this decision that they're canceled? And in doing so, the public, and I'm not sure if all the board members are giving adequate time as to look over what is going to be discussed and to review, agenda items. I'm not sure if you guys are given that much time too by it being canceled, or you're given the stuff at this combined meeting when you show up. And if that's the case, how can you make informed and fiscally responsible decisions for our district and us as taxpayers be able to question things because, we're thrown the agenda when we walk in here and the personnel stuff. We have about 5 minutes if we have any questions to comment on that. So that's kind of not being transparent. And is this going to be the protocols coming forward, or are we going to go back to past practice and continue with our caucus and our action meetings? Next, I want to go on to Mr. Patel. You discussed with the curriculum committees and so forth about more AP classes coming in 9th grade. But then on the other hand, we're discussing that we need tutors for our kids available 24/7 to help them. Let's get yoga and breathing into the schools because our kids are stressed out. What is the purpose of having all of these AP classes, especially in 9th grade? It seems like we're getting so top heavy with them that they're losing their value. And a lot of the colleges might accept the credits for kids to maybe pick their courses for the next semester, but not necessarily taking that course, and the kids have to take the course anyway. And we are also here, I've been here for the last couple months hearing a lot of, let's push these APs, let's get geometry in 4 weeks over the summer. Not sure how a speed class of geometry is going to give kids all that they need for them to succeed. Maybe that's why with this algebra stuff, when I see these algebra tutors and stuff, maybe we're expecting too much and not giving kids that balance. Because also, as board members, I know you're worried about the class rankings. I've been hearing that for months now. But you're also here to educate and support all of our students. I've heard nothing since Dr. Bragan was here a few years ago about even doing more for shop classes and so forth, for maybe kids that aren't going to go, our students, to a college. We still need more trade students. But all I hear when I come here is AP, AP, AP. There's a lot of students who aren't AP, and guess what? They will be successful. But we need to support them as well. So what are we doing to support them other than the AP? Couple more things, Dr. Aldarelli. It's November. No, we're self-insured. We've been self-insured for over a year now. As a taxpayer, I have not seen what the costs
3 years.
through this are, what the costs are, our district, how much we're saving. So I'd like to kind of know what that is. And lastly, Dr. Aldarelli, you've been working here for so many months for us, and I appreciate it. You're doing a great job. But the public has not been told yet publicly or in writing what Dr. Aldarelli's contract is, how many years it is, and how much he's making. So I think, our board, we need to get a little transparent and get that information out to our public. Used to be in the agendas and so forth, hasn't been. I'd appreciate some answers to my questions, and I thank you for all you guys do. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment.
missed a few meetings that we discussed your contract and how many members, so I don't know if you want to.
Thank you, Beth. I'll just answer the caucus meetings. They're not canceled, I mean, they're combined. And I assure you, every board member, we always send out the agenda at least the Friday before, so we have literally the whole weekend plus Monday, Tuesday to review them. So I have not heard concerns from my colleagues in terms of not having enough time to review the items. Or
I know we're not supposed to
discussing
go back and forth. I appreciate that, but the public's not getting it anymore. And we're not even getting the agendas anymore 48 hours in advance. They're coming out the day of. And the fact that we don't see the things ahead of time like we used to with the caucus meeting and the action meeting in the combined meeting now, it's kind of leaving us out of the loop, your stakeholders.
Okay, I'll make sure the agenda is sent out, right? I thought it was sent out at least 2 days before, but we'll double check. Thank you.
Anything on any of the other questions? No. Contracts?
Talk about your contract?
August
Or
meeting.
no?
My contract, I believe, is on the website.
Yeah, it's a
I think
5-year
some-
contract.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's 5 years. The parameters of it, I believe, have to be posted on the website. I don't know where it is on the website, but if
but
it's not on the
public-
website, we're going to put it on the website.
It's a public information. and
I know, but it
Public-
should be, you know, we have everybody else's when everybody else is hired in our agenda
Yeah,
personnel.
I'll
We've
email
got
it to you
nothing,
tomorrow.
Dr. Alderodi.
Yeah.
You
we
could,
can-
and also our
I can
August
give you the
meeting, we had
numbers.
discussed it too, so I guess you could review the August meeting online as well.
Yeah, I could send it over. I believe it's on the website, or we should be putting it on the website. I think legally it's got to be on the website, so.
It should also be in the personnel agendas for the public to see
Yeah.
without having to dig for it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
And in regards, Board President, if I may?
Yeah, Mr.
In regards
Mendoza.
to the shop classes and everything, if you saw the board meetings when 3 years ago, when I first got on the board, our first thing that I talked about was we need life skills. I don't know if you remember any of those meetings where we discussed life skills are important. Our kids need to learn how to change a tire if they have to, or even fix a faucet or whatever it is. Those are skills that are going to be high demand for the next generation moving forward. All these soft skills are going to be AI, bottom line, they're going to be all gone. So we are in the process of making sure that the hard skills are there and the curriculum reflects it, and we provide the services that the students of the future will need. So I don't know if you've seen the meetings 2 years ago, we were talking about that, plus mental health and also. So I just wanted to let you know,
Madam
we are
President.
thinking about it.
Madam President?
Mr. Shi?
Yeah, I just wanted, Beth, I just want to let you know that in the summer, we mentioned multiple times, we expanded our summer intern program, okay? Our summer intern program, including 20 students who are our facility interns. Those are the ones that learn the life skills about working in our facilities and do whatever they need to do for the whole summer. This is experience that the part of although it's not an official curriculum class, but we are expanding those skills for our students. It's a win-win for both. It's a win for our district, to have these students working in our district, and also, they make a couple bucks. That's also part of the process. It doesn't have to be a specific class, but they learn on the job for the 10 weeks in the summertime.
Yep. Anyone else? The lady in white? Your name and address, please.
Yeah, my name is Mary Botion. I'm actually a resident of Highland Park, and this is Milagros Aguayo, also from Highland Park. And if it's okay, I'd like to give my comments, and then Milagros will translate them into Spanish, just a summary for those folks for which it may be helpful. Thank you. The reason we're here is regarding a concern that several residents in Edison and Highland Park are sharing over an issue near the Lindenau Elementary School up at 50 Blossom Street in Edison. And in the event that you're not aware, there is a marijuana store that is looking to come in up the street from Lindenau Elementary, at 225 Woodbridge Avenue. Technically, the parcel is on Highland Park property, but the location actually violates the Edison Cannabis Ordinance. So we want Edison residents to be aware of it. In particular, you folks are obviously all concerned about school children, parents, so we want in particular this venue to be aware, and for all the parents who may be here this evening and listening at home, we want to let you know what we are trying to do about this situation and to try to help these towns. For starters, we have a petition that has been developed, and it is available online. We have a QR code link to the petition. We've brought copies of it on paper for all of you folks to have this evening. We've also got copies of the QR code. Again, for each of you and for any of the parents here tonight, we'd like to share this with you. The other thing that is really important to do, this particular shop at 225 Woodbridge Ave is called Anja, and it's right at the corner of Duclos and Woodbridge. It violates the Edison Cannabis Ordinance because it is less than 1,000 feet from the nearest Edison home, and it is less than 1,000 feet from St. Teresa's Church on Fox Road. So this has all been done to the best of our knowledge per open records without any communication between these two towns. Edison is really strongly encouraged at this point, that it means all of you as residents, anybody listening at home, the audience here, to get in touch with Sam Joshi and your council and ask them to step up on this. Highland Park is expected to give a resolution authorizing the opening of this store in probably a couple of weeks. So you need to move on this. You can also contact me further, anybody who's not here tonight. Again, my name is Mary Botion. My cell phone or text is 732-579-2979. And you can also contact us at hpnopot@gmail.com. So again, with your permission, I'd like to give you papers after the meeting so you can have those, and will be available after the meeting for anybody here who'd like to connect with us, okay? And Milagros will spend just a few minutes to translate this into Spanish. Thank you.
You could give her 6 minutes on the clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our time is up?
No, she has 6 minutes. Take your time.
Buenas noches. Sí, para los que no saben, quieren abrir una tienda de marihuana en Woodbridge Avenue, en Highland Park, que está está en el borde con Edison, y hemos traído unas peticiones en contra de esta tienda de marihuana que quieren abrir. Los que quisieran firmarla o quieren más información, pueden llamarme al 732-742-5198. Mi nombre es Milagros. Y al final de esta reunión nos vamos a quedar, y los que tengan preguntas o quieran hablar con nosotros, los esperamos. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Badowski.
Carol Podofsky, 39 Jonathan Drive. First, I'd like to mention that the seats where Mrs. Conway and I are very comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's the seats themselves or the fact that we're not on the hot seat as you guys are, but I've been coming to these meetings for a lot of years. And I have to say, there have been things that are done right, things that are done wrong. But tonight, I was really impressed by this group of young ladies who were over here speaking about the project. And it reminded me of my first Edison Board of Ed meeting, where there was a group of young ladies over in this area, and they were from our FCCLA here in Edison. And that's another group. We have so many students that are so amazing, and we want them to go to the best schools, and we want them to succeed in college. So we don't want to try to push too hard to get people into classes they're not ready for, but we don't want to ever limit people because we don't have room for them. When my daughter started Gettysburg College, the school of her dreams, she actually had 2 letters came in the mail, and she was at an FCCLA conference, and I brought them to her. And she looked, and one was from the President of the United States and his wife, and the other one was from Gettysburg College. She, of course, let the President and First Lady fall on the floor while she ripped open and found out that she had her dream to go to Gettysburg College. And we were very happy about that because so many things that happened here at J.P. Stevens didn't seem right. And then I'd go to the band concert or the choir concert. And then I'd go to one, and it would be a big one, so I'd get to see the Edison High one also. And I'd be like, oh my God, they're incredible. And I'd go back and forth from things that amazed me here. And now as I look at my daughters, as they've graduated from college, they're successful and all this, I don't know that I'd need to tutor them to get them into Algebra 2. I'm the one that refused to take the accelerated math because I was going to be a Latin teacher. So that might have been like very smart of me. I was very intellectual. I did help a student who needed to finish the class, and there were a lot of mitigating factors. And I was able in a summer to teach a child all of Latin 2. And I've worked with different children at different levels that had specific issues and specific needs to make. But sometimes when we try to give everybody everything they want, we forget that we need to give them what they need, what they all need. And the last of my nieces and nephews is getting he's going to graduate from community college along with his high school graduation. And he still doesn't know what he wants to be, but it'll be something to do with music and AI. And, oh, I said, that's wonderful. But, you're doing so many things right. There's always going to be something that we're not doing. But just stop and listen as you have tonight. You had a nice group of people that had, interesting things to say. And sometimes when we get too many people screaming in our faces, we don't listen at all. So I'm very happy at this meeting tonight, and then I got to sit next to Mrs. Conway. They haven't made any rules this year about us not being allowed to sit together, as they did once before. But thank you all.
Thank you. Harish, you're next.
So, Harish Thatineni, 45 McKinley Street. Requesting update on few things. Number one, my Oprah request, Mr. Jonathan, you promised me 1 month back, never heard back from you. I submitted 2 more Oprahs. Number two, the opt-out form for elementary schools regarding certain topics in health education, certain controversial topics. So last year, I think Dr. Bragan did send it out. It was available on our parent portal. So wondering if it will be made available this year also. I mean, I'm not really worried about middle school and high school, but for elementary school at least, if someone is innocent, let them be innocent, at least till grade 5. Number 3, any update on the fans requisition? I know entire board and administration, senior officials, both of you, we mentioned earlier, last month and the month before, that we'll take care of the fans. You don't have to contribute and save that money for something else. I think it really doesn't look nice if we don't keep our word. Well, we means you all. I'm not part of that. So I think it's better that we be on top of that in terms of chasing different school principals for requisitions and putting in a formal requisition, because government procedures are lengthy. I mean, you guys know it better than me, so that everything is in place by spring itself. As I said several times before, if we had a pot of gold, unlimited funds, yes, we would obviously go in for brand new wiring and new ACs and everything, but unfortunately we don't have that luxury. Then number 4, any update on that accident on Rave Avenue? I mean, we have the copy of the local police report, but I thought this goes to the next level of DMV and all that. A detailed investigation is conducted. Most importantly, we are all very thankful to God that no kid or the driver got hurt, no pedestrians, nothing. It's only property damage, which insurance will take care of. But a few words from Superintendent, maybe in the next meeting or now, as to what additional things we might be doing in terms of enforcing certain more frequent checks to the outside vendors. Everyone knows that it's not Edison-owned bus, it is outside transportation. So that would comfort the parents. So those 4 are done. Now coming back to curriculum. Elementary school, yeah. I know last time when we talked, you said leave my name and number. I didn't do that intentionally because I didn't want to disturb you. At that time, transportation was the priority. So good to hear that's going well now. Only 68 are left. So I think I would definitely like to meet Ms. Baninder, you, and along with a couple of more parents, and maybe Vishal Patel could also join since he's the curriculum head. I don't have anything new to say other than what I repeated 2 months back. Personally, I'm a great fan of trimester system, I'll tell you honestly, because I went to grad school, that was almost 20 years back. I went to Ohio State University, and it was a, quarter system. Once I had viral fever, 1 week was gone, and the quarter grades were gone. So we have the same phenomenon here in the marking period system. So personally, I like the trimester system, but when grade 6 onwards, we are following the marking period system, and things are so competitive in Edison. Again, I repeat the same thing what I said. We need to give the kids a smooth transition, because as it is from 5th to 6th, they are going to different school, different teachers, new surroundings, this, that, everything is new. So it's better that we have the marking period system and the regular grading, reports in grade 5. Whatever you guys want to do up to grade 4, I mean, I will leave it to you. I'm not going to argue about that. But at least for grade 5, I know Vishal said that they are planning a pilot for grade 5. Please don't do that. I mean, if you have future plans of doing a trimester in middle school, then it makes sense. But when there is no such plan, I mean, it's better that we follow the marking period system and standard report card. I mean, the conventional report card, not the new one in grade 5. So that's my request. I'm ready to bring in parents who are not happy with the standards-based reporting. And we requested this thing since Dr. Reagan, a survey to the affected parents, because the sample size on social media, WhatsApp or Facebook groups is not enough. Most people don't come to the meeting to talk, and although I know at least half a dozen people who do not like it, that is still a small sample size. So best thing is survey for the parents, and then a discussion followed by whatever final implementation. In this context, I would like to quote Indira Nooyi, the former CEO of Pepsi company. When she first took over as CEO, the Wall Street analysts asked, So what is the new strategy? She said, what do you mean new strategy? The strategy is working fine. Do I really need to implement a new strategy? So when things, just because there is a new sheriff in town, it doesn't mean that we need to create new rules and policies and change it. That's my point. If it's working well, let it work. I mean, there are so many other problems that we can tackle. I have one more about middle school and high school, but I'll come afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was
Any,
there is a student.
Mr.
There's a student waiting. Yeah. It's like,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, any students, that you can go first.
So her name is Kushi Ebar. The reason she's late is because she is a senior master sergeant at Civil Air Patrol. Incredible achievement. So she will tell about all her achievements. She's a JP Students Junior.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kushi Hebar. I'm a junior in John P. Stevens High School, which is where we are right now. I have been a Girl Scout since the age of 5, and I have volunteered in veterans' homes. I have distributed Christmas cards for veterans. I have also worked in senior centers and old age homes. I have won the Silver Award for my project Breathe, which was focused on teaching mental health awareness to children from the age of 2 to 12 during the COVID years. Currently, I'm working on my Gold Award project, which targets in teaching mental health to teenagers and targets helping teenagers with their mental health, and it is called Beyond Barriers. Currently, I'm a senior master sergeant, almost chief master sergeant right now, in the Civil Air Patrol, which is the auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force. And I have flown a Cessna 172 aircraft multiple times and have been able to fly a KC-10 simulator on the military orientation flight, which is a simulator that is used for actual U.S. Air Force pilots. I have always also suggested multiple other people to join Civil Air Patrol, as it's a wonderful place to volunteer for our community. I'm also passionate about astronomy and aerospace, which is why I joined Civil Air Patrol in the first place. I have competed in Stellar Explorers in the past twice, and this is my 3rd year. I have been to semifinals in Stellar Explorers twice, and this year we're planning to go to finals. Stellar Explorers is a national competition which requires participants to solve previously used NASA missions, and this involves using Systems Toolkit and getting a STK Level 1 certification, and this also involves launching satellites into space and choosing the right rocket components to complete the mission. So these are some of my interests in academics, and outside of academics, in sports, I've enjoyed swimming, and I've been on the Manta Ray swim team in Metuchen YMCA. Currently, I'm a private swim coach at Edison YMCA, and I help kids learn the life-saving skill of swimming, and I also help kids get into competitive swim teams. I'm also very interested in the arts. So I'm proficient in an Indian classical art called Bharatanatyam, which is an Indian classical dance, and I have performed in very prestigious events across the country, such as the Cleveland Tyagaraja Festival, the Pittsburgh Dance Festival, Sammalana in Houston, the Sri Papanasham Shivan Dance Competition in Delaware, and the Delaware Dance Competition. And I have also performed in many, many performances around the tri-state area. I'm also a trained Carnatic musician. Carnatic music is the Indian classical singing of South India primarily. And I've performed in the leading music festivals, again, like the Tyagaraja Festival, the Purandara Dasa Nadopasana Festival multiple times. And along with this, I also really enjoy drawing and painting, pottery, and other visual arts very much, and I've won many art competitions. And my work was previously exhibited in the Edison Public Library as the Artist of the Month, as well as the North Edison Main Branch Library earlier last year. So along with all of this, this summer I had a very big show which showcased all of my 3 art forms. And in this show, I was able to raise over $3,000 for promoting education of the underprivileged kids using my artistic skills. So thank you so much for letting me speak. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. It's quite a lot of achievement. Thank you. Any other first-timers? Oh, Mr. Ross.
Good evening, everybody. I know we're at JP Stevens, but it's always a good time to talk about what's great about Edison High. Now, I know the holiday season is upon us, and I'm here to save you guys money. Everybody out there in TV land, everybody that's in the audience, on Saturday the 2nd, we're going to have the PTSO Bazaar at Edison High. Now, we've got over 140 vendors. I know my man, Will Collibos, is going to make sure I got all the tables I need, and we're going to set it up, and we're selling everything from A to Z. So come on by, check the deals at Edison High. That's December 2nd. Support the PTSO. That supports all the students of Edison. I just want to shout out another what's great about Edison High. A young lady by the name of Emily Harike won the first place in the state championships in the beam, and that's the 3rd year in a row that we've had a student win one of the event's state championships. So bravo for her and Miss Salvatore, our gymnastics coach. I want to shout out our central office person of the week, Miss Lisa LaPlante, for all her help and always picking up the phone for me. So I wanted to shout her out and just say that I'm always thankful, and I know everybody else that's watching is thankful for being a part of the absolute best school district in New Jersey. No matter what any awards say, we all know which one is number one.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. He's been the biggest advocate for Edison High. Thank you. Anybody else? Oh, Matt.
She meant to say, oh, Matt.
Good evening. A couple things I just want to mention, and they're all good things. So, first of all, congratulations to the Mrs. White, Ms. Patel in the back, and Mr. Lugo for their victory in the election. As always, ETA looks forward to working with all the board members. Second thing, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. 3 good words there, though, if you break it down. Happy. It's a happy time of the year, hopefully, for everyone. Yes. Thanks. Don't take anything for granted. I've learned this as I've aged. Always say today what you should say. Don't put it off till tomorrow, because you know what tomorrow holds. So give thanks to everyone that's been a positive effect in your life. And the last one, which may be the most important I'm speaking about, is giving. I happened to hear this on the radio, I think it was this morning or yesterday morning on my travel to school, how donations and giving is down from what it used to be. We have a lot of needy people out there, so please use the time, this time of the year, happy time of the year, to give to the needy people, those that need things, food, shelter, clothing, etc. So that leads me into a couple things I want to mention with that on top of it. One of the persons that, and she was in the board minutes, her and her husband last board meeting for retiring, is Dora Ramos, and her husband Jimmy, who was a security officer at Edison High. And Dora was one of our attendance investigators. If there's a person that's a poster child for giving back to her community, it was Dora Ramos. Dora, with the Cure going back a number of years ago, she still continues to be involved with the community, has always thought about the person in need. So she'll be sorely missed. I know her and her husband will be moving down eventually to Texas, near to their son. I had the pleasure of teaching their son years ago, and that's how I met Dora originally, by having her son, wonderful, wonderful young man in class. So I just want to wish them well, and again, make that announcement. Again, there's nobody that's more of a poster child for giving back to her community than Dora Ramos. The final thing I want to mention is ETA and a number of things that we've done over the past month and will continue to do. Thank you to Dr. Aldarelli, Mr. Duggan over at Menlo Park. We had our trunk or treat for Halloween. I believe we dispensed over 70,000 pieces of candy, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you to the fire department. The police department made a nice donation of candy. Unfortunately, they weren't there. We had our 2 service animals. Our DJ did a great job. It was a wonderful day and a wonderful event as always. So thank you to all of those. We thank the people that were involved in helping to set that up, the people that came out with their cars, and again, wonderful event for the children of Edison and the parents that tagged along with the children. Second thing, we had our Boscov's fundraiser. That money goes towards scholarships for our students in Edison High and JP Stevens. We also had the cookie drive and food drive for Thanksgiving. That was distributed to Hands of Hope. Thank you to the Pride Committee under the direction of Ms. Babst, and to the Colettos, who have a direct link with Hands of Hope for they're helping to get the trays and cookies, et cetera, to the families for hoping making their Thanksgiving a much happier event. In December, we have coming up the collections for Christmas. So we're collecting things like gift cards for needy families and toys. We also have one as a county event it's a night of giving. So again, the association continues to work toward and give back to the members of the community. The final thing I want to mention, in February, keep the date open. Again, thanks as always. Now that the pandemic is kind of behind us somewhat and all, we're bringing back our volleyball game. And the money raised through the volleyball event, which is hopefully going to be the third week in February. And in fact, I mentioned to Mr. Bowden yesterday, it's leap year. So our snow day could be February 29th. And he thought that was a great idea in case we get snowed out. The money raised from that event, we donate to local charities. You know, over the years, we've done things like Kitty Keepwell, Buddy Ball, the Mercer Tafaro Foundation, et cetera. So, you know, keep that date open, come out. I know the schools love to raise money and support the staff that are playing. Hopefully the administrators, the central office will have a team to play. More information will come to follow, you know, as we get closer to that event. But other than that, I also want to wish everyone, because we don't have another meeting before then, Happy Hanukkah to those that applies. We won't have another board meeting before then. And again, hopefully everybody will have a nice, happy Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, be safe. And for those of us in the schools, have a nice, you know, time off. Don't go spending too much money on shopping on Friday. And just wish everybody, you know, thankful to the board. All right, I know sometimes we have our differences. Some things we agree, some things we disagree. But I'm always thankful to people. You guys all devote your time, and that's something that's appreciated. So thank you and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Matt.
you.
Any other comments? No? Okay, that concludes our meeting. Thank you very much. Oh, Harish? Okay.
Thank you. So, Harish Satineni, 45 McKinley Street. So anyway, for this one, I am speaking on behalf of some parents from middle and high schools whose kids are in the honors or AP program, whatever. So I was hoping somebody would pick it up since this is already out there in social media. So, but anyway, that's okay. So it appears that there are some issues, especially with the geometry honors and AP courses. In terms of the teaching or the level of homework. And also one more thing that parents mentioned is they don't really get the test paper back home to check which problems went wrong. So there isn't much opportunity to improve just by letting the student know the final score. So this is something that could be looked into. I mean, again, as per my own policy, I don't take any names of any schools or teachers or whatever. But this is something that needs to be looked into. I mean, they were requesting some performance monitoring committee for the STEM courses and all that. And again, the same request like what I mentioned earlier. Survey to all such parents so that they can, or maybe you could conduct a meeting and discuss it openly. I'm out of this because, you know, my kid is in elementary. I'm still learning about the APs and honors. So, but this has been a prominent complaint on the social media in terms of teaching and all. I know in grad school they say prepare everything and do the assignments, then come and participate in the class. That's what I went through, which is fair enough for grad school. But for undergrad and high school and all, I think probably we need to do something more than that. So if you want to discuss, I'm available afterwards. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Harish. Yeah, we can discuss offline. So any other comments? Oh, Ms. Conway.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I was debating whether I was going to bring this up or not, but yet people thought I was crazy enough to do it, so guess what? I'm going to do it. Halloween is a very big celebration for the children. They, at the elementary level, they have their parties, they have their parades, and then they go home, and then they go out trick-or-treating. Well, it's been a few years since I was teaching, and I just don't recall the faces on the children the next day. And as I brought my grandsons to school this year, I'm taking my time looking at all the other children, and I mentioned to another parent, I went, these poor children and these poor teachers that have to spend the day after Halloween and try to get something done in a positive way. And I said to the parent, I said, they should make Halloween the 4th Friday of October in the schools. And then this way, they can go home and sleep late on Saturday. You could never take away from them the fact of going around trick-or-treating on Halloween, but at least it would not be a parade, a party, trick-or-treating, and going to bed late and going to school the next day. And as I'm telling this and talking with the parents, there were a few teachers behind me, and they were like, they should make a rule. That would be fabulous. And I said, I don't know what the feelings would be, because in the news, a superintendent in another district lost his job because he did away with the celebration of Halloween, which I thought was atrocious, but to just adjust it in some way, because I know what reminded me too was when Matt talked about the trunk or treat. The children love getting dressed up in their costumes, and ordinarily they might only be able to wear it that one day. Whereas this time, if we did do that, they would get and enjoy wearing their costumes more than once. I'm just giving you an idea to put in the back of your mind and think about it and maybe talk about it and see if there's any feasibility here, or I'm completely out of my mind to even bring it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next year, Halloween falls on a Thursday. The next day, you still wear your costume if you want to.
Any other comments?
Motion to
No?
close.
Motion to close.
Motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
See
holiday.
you next meeting. Happy Halloween.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.